the Israelis are using biblical passages, Old Testament passages. We've heard about the Amalek and the Amalekites and the descendants of the Amalekites, which genetically, by the way, are also the Palestinians. So they have a history going back over 3,500 years. And in fact, they have over 50-60% of DNA that links them to the Amalek or the Amalekites that were there 3,500 years ago. So, you know, and those are the sort of terms that are being used. And there was a very firm and strong opinion within Israel about, and amongst certain Jewish authorities, rabbis and what have you, that anybody who stands up against a Jew is an Amalek. So Moses would have been, at the time of Moses, Pharaoh would have been an Amalek. Hitler would have been an Amalek. Today, the Palestinians have become the Amalek. And the verses actually that talk about what to do with the Amalek is to completely annihilate them from the face of the earth, not leaving a trace of them. No man, no woman, no child, even the animals should not be spared. They should all be slayed, basically. So this is the sort of mentality, unfortunately, that is being shared. And as I say, Doctor, these questions that we're often asked to start condemning things, it's like almost by default, we are looked at it with an air of suspicion. We have to somehow prove our innocence. We have to prove our humanity before we're even given a chance to start any discussion, which is, I think, quite a hypocritical stance, especially when the very people often asking those questions are the ones who are banging the drums of war and are singing the praises of the genocidal maniacs that are on a killing spree, clearly, where over 20,000 civilians now. 20,000 civilians and over 50 to 60,000 are seriously injured. And by the way, these figures are very conservative because there are potentially many thousands still buried under the rubble. There simply isn't safety, security, or manpower or equipment to even recover the decomposing bodies of their children and of their families. And I was hearing today, somebody was saying that they've lost 60 members of their family, 60 people of their family to this type of bombing. 1% of the entire Palestinian population thereabouts have now been killed. This is clearly, it is a genocide. It is over, I think, 200 academics and, lawyers have signed documents to say that this is genocide. We have a lawyer who retired from or resigned from the United Nations, Craig McIver, who said that this was actually a textbook definition of what genocide is. And yet we have people still claiming, like our, snake of a producer, or rather a presenter, people like Piers Morgan, who don't believe it's a genocide. They don't even want to call it what it is, as to what it is. And they want to play with words and play with definitions somehow, and make it seem like it's not what it actually is. But I think that for the vast majority of us, we know what's going on. If you study the definitions of what genocide is, it clearly is a genocide.